If you are right now in the crypto market and you're looking at how things are evolving, you do see we are at a resistance. If we don't break higher, then we are coming back down to this level of support. But if we break higher, now we have room to the upside to go. Why? Because on the other end, you're observing dollar dropping right now at 105.87, which is bad, meaning it's dropping, which is actually good for crypto, bad for dollar itself. Now, why be super bullish on XRP and what is changing? If you look at how things are evolving, this is November 23rd, 2022. Why is that really important? Because as you look at this, you see, okay, there is new all-time high, $1 trillion, but what is the target market? It's 156 trillion as of 2022 alone. So it's projected to go towards 220 trillion dollars. And as you take your turn on reading through how things work, now this is interesting with World Economic Forum, because the way they are going through different governments, having their leaders inside governments or the government leaders with them actually shows their ability to push things further. So if they are trying to do this, most likely it's going to come out. And when we are looking at that, right now here, Japan is trying to come out with their own central bank digital currency, and the report that it has been working with mega banks and 3 mega banks in that country, in which SBI is one of them, which is adopting XRP Ledger and is a huge fan of XRP for a reason. Now, as we look at all this and recent news suggesting stablecoins' role in the international payments, now these are actually key things to be focused on, because right now here, you are going to see a lot of adoption. You see stablecoin use case from different institutions. That's good. That's great. And then when you go here, you literally see customers like this. Fine, great, good. And as you continue on, you again see further adoption. Customers like this. This is the same as the other one. And then you continue to the upside and you see like this. All of them have an opinion here as they work with this team. Because once you understand how flexible it is, an affordable credit arrangement system on the ODL helps them to provide their business a little bit more clarity. That's going to benefit them in a lot of different ways. Now, yes, things are looking really bold, really positive. But here on the SEC side, if we come on to this particular article, now this is actually November 2022 and showing how SEC is screwing a lot of institutions. So especially when we come down to look at what they are doing with XRP, it starts from here. So those who have a doubt of what's happening, what's going on, just to get a general perspective of what's happening, how much of points or the factors went from the judge to the SEC side as positive note, where it's like, granted for Ripple. That's something you have to actually understand. So one by one, when the magistrate actually gives you this idea of things can go positive, you need to understand they did not do this. This is one of the biggest issue for library case, where the case went against them. But here, if you read, March 2022, the district court judge denied SEC's motion to strike Ripple's fair notice. So SEC didn't get that, Ripple scored at that point. Now, if you come back into the market, yes, there are things to discuss, but you also see a lot of money entering the market. So this is 143 million higher than yesterday's volume, where money is coming into the crypto exchanges. Great. And it's $2.32 billion. So you need to keep that number in your mind as you look through the volume, the daily volume here, and observe XRP daily volume is right now 1.45 billion. So XRP volume actually increased when the volume of Ether decreased. This is substantial because when you are looking at Binance coin, when you are looking at USD coin, these stable coins, and then look at XRP Ledger, it's slowly increasing its volume. That is actually a huge thing to observe right now, because if you look at the bid range here, you actually see 165 million in buy, and for that of XRP, you see 279. And at this time, when you are getting a lot of adoption on the side of stable coins, and here they're talking about euro-based stable coin, the fiat-based stable coins, you are going to tap into a lot of big money. The repository of money is going to be open for the XRP ledger, because they actually have the ability to give what the banks want, which is the first thing. They have their reserves, which they can now use to bring in more productivity. And one thing which is common here in this one, as well as all these committees where they talk about financial inclusion. This stuff is something we have been talking from a long time, at least from 3 years we are talking about this. This is a perspective where they are looking at digital histories, digital access to credit, how to remove frictions in the cross-border payments for all sizes, not just the JP Morgan and Citi guys, but even for the small companies. So this event is coming. So if you are ready for your profit taking, maybe that's coming in 6 months, maybe that's coming in a year. We really don't know. But one thing is for sure, right now when you look at the price action, you see some signals. And that's what we're going to discuss from here. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. So now when we look at XRP, yes, we will have to reiterate that we are holding this line of support, because a lot of them, even though some of these coins are actually pumping, they have moved pretty much back into this range of last 1 week. A lot of them are still below major support. So you go look at Solana, you see like, okay, it pumped like 11% for the day, but you can literally go back to that asset and be a normal common human being and ask this. It broke this level, it did not retest that. Then it happened to come down here, this level of support. So if you extend this here, you will see why that's a long-term range. You did not retest that one. In a short-term 4-hour, you did, but when you go on to a daily 3-day, you did not. So your momentum to the downside on a 3-day and weekly is substantial. And what you are going to see here is most likely a retest and a rejection. Now, we don't know whether it's going to break higher, and if it does, that's positive news for that particular asset, but you need to understand what is happening right now. Money is entering back into the market. That's a positive news. But what you are looking at is where these money is going towards. Some of them, money is exiting from that particular asset. So you need to go down there and ask yourself, are you observing momentum increasing in that asset or not, right? So you can literally come here, look at the dollar scenario, what's playing out there, go on a daily for that, and then just ask, okay, what's the stock market doing? When dollar is going down, stock market is going up. Look at Tesla, it's up 7% for the day. So things are moving in these markets. FTX just slowed us so much down. We are trying to break these short-term resistance and we are not able to do that. So when we are getting rejected, if we do, we're going to come back lower to test this one. Now we need to actually look at how many of these assets are going to hold on to that support, because when you go back onto XRP, which is like the macro chart for XRP, to understand like why this is so important to keep in mind that XRP is holding this line, that's next bounce. And as it bounces, you can literally argue that the pump is going to be super heavy, because when you compare it with the altcoin market, it does show you that people are scared. There is a lot happening in the market. People are right now worried about our long crypto winter for next 2 or 3 years. So we are asking ourselves, what is the possibility that this is a reaccumulation pattern where this can be the Wyckoff spring for that accumulation? So if you are breaking back into this range, this turns out to be a Wyckoff spring event. Now, this is a weekly chart. Right now, you have a lot of institutions entering into the crypto market, especially on the altcoin cap, right? Because they are entering into different projects, building, developing different stuff. So all of them are here. And what we are looking at is something where the money is coming into the market. It slows down a bit. Reality sets in and institutions do take profits. So right now, when they're trying to establish their products here in the market, you will definitely actually see like JP Morgan kicking the market with the words and then coming out with new products for the market. It kind of reinforces what they are looking at. So yes, on a short term, when you go in, you don't actually see a lot of positive stuff. But here in the altcoin markets, you see it slowly breaking back higher. And what's more important is before you actually went back up, you had a little bit of fake out here, which is really a good thing. That is interesting because usually when you get the fake out, you get higher momentum. Here you did not get that much higher momentum, but you are slowly breaking back higher. So now it's great to see that on a 12-hour, you're breaking through your 21-day moving average, and on a daily, you still have a little bit room. So what's more important for all of us right now is not going bullish, but understanding which coin will survive. Because if the retest in Bitcoin fails here at 18,000, it can come back down. There is no argument saying it may not do that. But if you see the price breaking through this range, moving higher, this is two resistance being broken if it's moving to the upside. So if it's managing to get about 19,000 daily close, 3-day close, weekly close, you get the confirmation that the price is about to continue to the upside. So here in the market, it's all a probability. Right now, people can go bullish, go bearish, but it's not that perfect time to do that. Waiting is the hardest part, and that's the best thing to do in this market. Even if you have a ton of dry powder and your average is so high, it's okay. Wait a little bit and see if you are watching a new trend. If you get a higher high structure on a 12-hour chart, 4-hour chart, now that gives you more confidence to buy more in. Otherwise, have a little bit more patience and just sit on it. Now, speaking of patience, we all know how hard it is to hold on. But when we really watch this and say like, okay, there is like $3 billion coming into this market. Now, that's just the tether. Then you go on to the Bitcoin side of this to actually understand, okay, in the general market, how is things evolving? You do see inflows to the exchanges dropping, but the actual question is how much of it is to the fiat exchange? And you see fiat exchange, people moving out, is dropping 20%, which is a good thing to watch. And then the crypto exchange, it's not moving down so much, right? That's actually a positive news that you see total fluctuation is up and money coming into the market is also high. Now, what does that actually mean for XRP? As we talk through this, we also do have to keep in mind that as they work with World Economic Forum, which is working with a lot of different governments, and payment steering committees around the globe as they work towards their central bank digital currency, you are actually going to see them really using the bank's repositories, not commercial banks. I see people making this mistake right now. Yes, it's good to watch Ripple partnering with commercial banks, but in an era of central bank digital currency, the primary ledger is going to be the central banks. The central bank digital currency is going to be the liability of central banks, which can move through banks. That's okay. But the actual reserves, right now, say for example, banks have settlement accounts with the central banks. Great. Now, it will only be that. You may have an account directly with the central bank if that central bank is going retail. If they're going wholesale, now you have wholesale third-party dealers, and it can not only be banks, it can also be providers like Ripple. So you have the ability to use your central bank digital currency to buy whatever you want, most likely moving into a stable coin and then moving on to what you want. Otherwise, everything is going to be tracked and it's going to be really hard. We all know that. Now, coming back to this one, when you read through this, take note of positive and take note of negative things happened inside this. And then go with all these other cases, because it's not just one case where SEC is screwing others, right? You go look at what happened here, you go look at what happened here, and you follow this and you're like, okay, there is something different. For XRP, the court is standing with Ripple. Why? Because they have more facts and truth aligned with them. So the possibility of this case getting over soon is still there. Now, Ripple ODL customer, FleetCor, is actually announcing another integration, and they are doing like 300 billion euro per year transaction. So adoption is here. Just the difference is right now you don't have the central bank digital currencies, and when you get to see the digital currencies, that's when things roll really fast. Now look at this, just my 2 cents. You see these guys in a group like this, and this guy, especially right now, confirming that he's going to attend that. I'm really surprised to actually see, like, okay, this is a reality. After all that happened recently, he's still going to attend that. There is no arrest warrant, there is nothing going. It's just investigations. Why is that? If that's a small robbery, they're going to actually screw that guy, run behind him, put the gun on his head. That all that will happen. But here, it's in billions. And still, nothing is happening. People lost money because just this one guy went rogue. And he does not have any issue right now. This is the real status quo traditional system. That's why you really need to see people move into complete decentralized ecosystem. And these guys, they'll make it really hard because their control will go out. That is for sure. Let's see what this guy come on, what he actually talks on the stage. But it's going to be really interesting to watch if the federal agencies are not waiting to arrest him after that speech. If that's the case, you need to literally close your eyes and say, okay, fine, the justice system is great. They're doing a good job. Just joking. So that's it for today, guys. If you received value for your time, please do hit that like and subscribe button. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.